Murder of the Prancing Pony. This is a standalone scenario for The Lord of the Rings, the card game by Fantasy Flight Games. It came out at Gen Con 2015, and it is related to the Saga line of expansions for The Lord of the Rings, the card game. That is, the line of expansions that have to do with the main storyline of The Lord of the Rings. In particular, this takes place around the events depicted in the scenario of the Black Riders expansion, which is the first in the line of the Saga expansions. And I really like the standalone adventure. It's a wonderful example of how flexible The Lord of the Rings, the card game, is, and how it manages to integrate narrative and storytelling within. Well, of course, what is a card game that has deck selecting. It has all of these abstract mechanics that, however, somehow can be directed towards the creation of a story. And this story in particular is a mystery story. It owes something to Clue or to that kind of games where you discover secret pieces of information by eliminating alternatives that are not the right one. So the heroes are staying at the Prancing Pony, and what happens is that somebody murdered a guest. The heroes go around investigating the mystery, and they need to figure out who the murderer was and where the murderer is hiding, the location of the hideouts of the murderer. To do so, there is a deck of suspects with 5 possible suspects, 5 possible criminals that may have done it, and 5 possible hideouts where the murderer may be. So you shuffle them together to create the suspect deck. You also add these 2 cards, which I'm not even going to tell you what these are. Don't look at them if you get this scenario. You'll see the text. Let's just say that they will make things tougher. You're convinced that you have found a clue, and in truth, something bad happens. You have the quest deck that instructs you on how to investigate, on how to complete the adventure. You collect quest points, but as you do so, you also need to investigate. That is, you need to find ways to look at cards into this deck, because before the game starts, 2 of these cards, a location and a suspect, are randomly selected without looking at them, set aside. And so you want to look at this deck here, because each card that you see here is not here, so it cannot be one of the 2 pieces of information that you're looking. It cannot be the murderer, it cannot be the hideout. By looking at these cards, you figure out what the hideout and the murderer, what the hideout is and who the murderer is. And yeah, you have a checklist which you can use. You can make a copy and then do checklists. Maybe enlarge the copy and then you can put tokens on them. As is, it would be, these are very small, you can't just put tokens there. But how do you remove possible suspects? You need to investigate. There are several cards in this game. Well, the enemies are pretty much brigands, human or humanoids. It's a fairly, quote-unquote, realistic scenario. It takes place in Lord of the Rings, but you do not have weird monsters. What you do have is locations that have the investigate keyword, and they have a number by them. When a location with the investigate keyword becomes the active location, you work on it normally. When it is explored, then you get to draw a number of cards on this deck equal to the investigate value. So if I resolve this card, I explore it, discard it, and I get to look at 2 cards. So, well, now I know, look at that this is not the hideout and this is not the murderer. I eliminate those from the suspects, and then I shuffle them back. So it may be that you will stumble upon redundant information that you already knew. Too bad for you. So you have some time as you complete this quest to collect clues. Then the situation in which you are is that when you move to the next stage, you can make an accusation, or you can stay longer in this phase. You're on this card, but pretty much you're repeating the same thing. You're going around, try to explore locations with the investigate clue, fighting brigands in the middle, of course, but try to increase your chances of figuring out the pieces of information you're trying to collect. When you're ready, you make an accusation, which may be right or wrong, and depending on that, the next stage, well, will be affected by that. No spoilers, but of course, let's just say that if you make the wrong accusation, it is a problem, because now you're getting embroiled into a deeper plot. You have more enemies that include, because now also the people that you wrongly accused are enemies of yours, not just the real bad guy that is hiding. It's fun. It's a fun scenario. It's incredibly thematic. It's incredibly original. I played quite a few scenarios in the Lord of the Rings, the card game, and none that plays like this one. This feels very unique. As I talk, I'm sure some of the cards. Of course, you can pause at any time so you get a better sense of what's here. No scenario that they played resembles this one. You have battle-oriented, exploration-oriented scenarios where you're trying to escape from an enemy, especially in the saga, in the early saga expansions. But this one, where you play detective in a fantasy world, you still have the usual challenges that you have in Lord of the Rings, the card game, the challenges that make you like this game and make you look for expansions. So you had to deal, of course, with threats, you had to deal with staging, with the staging area, with questing, with defeating enemies, with recruiting allies fast, etc., etc., etc. But you also have this other element here of the suspect deck, which really adds to the game, really gives the game a flavor, a direction, a personality, which is like no other scenario that I played in this game. So I'm absolutely happy that I picked a Murder at the Prancing Pony. I picked it up in my friendly local game store. Yes, it was released as a special thing at Gen Con last year, but it is available in stores. It is available on the Fantasy Flight website. So definitely an excellent scenario, possibly one of my favorite ones that I played for the system. And as I said, I played quite a few of them. Fun. Please give it a try if you enjoy the game, because I think you would enjoy this scenario.